we human beings are a product, and we also are knowing, and we also have truth.
Okay, but there are also mechanisms to explain this curiosity and things that you're saying are counterintuitive, going on a rocket on the moon and going, poking a bear or something like that for just the sake of it. And it is this, the brain is wired in that way that it craves this knowledge. It is basically painful if you're not distracted. If you're living just on your butt and you just eat and you just feel genuine pain in your body. So and this is not because I'm not trying to. It is a genuine mechanism through which we evolved to become this developed society. If we weren't curious enough to poke a bear or try the honey or other things, we would have not got here. I mean, saying that seeking truth is a sort of like a divine calling that God ascribes.
Look, I don't
think
disagree with anything you've said there except for the last point. Of course human beings are curious, and of course being curious leads to natural selection, selecting for that trait.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. That's complete red herring.
Yeah.
What we're actually speaking about is the concept of truth. Forget survival for now.
Okay.
The very idea, the ideal of truth. Why do we even have the term truth if it's all about survival and reproduction? And by the way, this isn't a problem I pointed out.
Okay.
Even mainstream.
I've heard this theory before.
Yeah, and the thing is, you will find atheist philosophers of science, people who say, we're just doing this on a Sunday. They do this all their lives, right? They do the stargazing and thinking, right? Yeah. The most, I would say, well-known philosopher of science in the world, one of the most well-known, is Alex Rosenberg. He's an atheist. And he publicly admitted, and he's an atheist evangelist, he sits with Richard Dawkins, he sits with them, he's publicly admitted naturalism, which is atheism, has no explanation for the origin of reason. And that's all I'm leaving it at. Unless you can say something in this park which hundreds of years of debate have not solved. We can't.
No, but you see, I see the value in looking for a certain truth. But I don't understand why are you saying that, you can believe something false and still be successful at surviving. Yes, that can happen, but it's not a sustainable method for thousands, millions of years.
Okay, I'm not making this claim. I'm regurgitating the claim made by academics.
Oh, well, then I might disagree with the guy, and there's probably academics saying that they disagree.
But actually, you will not find any academic who would say that every single human sociological, psychological trait is due to selection. You will not find anyone saying that. Even the most ardent people like Richard Dawkins, even they wouldn't say that. Because they know, for example, he himself, he was writing in his book, The Selfish Gene, that, he believes that it's all about genetics, passing on your genes.
Yeah.
And he says that we must teach altruism, right?
Okay.
Because we are hardwired to be selfish.
Yes.
Now, what he's basically doing is he's facing cognitive dissonance here, because he believes in Darwinism and he believes in selection and he believes in genes, and then he's importing an external concept like altruism, and he's saying we're hardwired to be selfish, but we need this altruism thing. Well, my question is, where the hell did this come from?
Oh, I can tell you.
Okay.
My theory is that, look, we grew up to be social animals, right?
Yep.
We grew up to be with dads, mums, and parents and children. And if you are genuinely 100% selfish, you cannot be a social being. You cannot rely on someone, taking care of your kids. You cannot rely on someone helping you out, build a shelter, and so on. And so we are selfish. We are wired to be selfish. But by the time we get to an age, 5-7 years, we understand that we cannot work with other people unless we are altruistic in some way. And altruism is also a selfish thing to do, because you're doing it with the idea that someone is paying you back. I don't see contradiction.
No,
in this.
I'll show you where the contradiction actually is, and the contradiction's not been pointed out by me. It's been pointed out by academics for years, which is What you're referring to is known as kin selection and reciprocal altruism.
Yes.
Reciprocal altruism is, I scratch your back, you're going to scratch my back eventually.
Yes.
Kin selection is, I'm a cave guy and I found an apple tree and you carry half my genes because you're my brother or something, right? And I want you to basically survive because you carry my genes, therefore I'm going to be altruistic.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's also...
Now the problem is, that's explaining the problem in terms of genes. And the problem is altruism and the existence of altruism. And to say that altruism is selfishness in disguise, which is what you just said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right? That doesn't solve the problem. That just gives a label to a mystery. The mystery is human beings have altruism, pure
innate.
altruism. Innate.
Is it a gene for it?
Innate, nurtured, that's irrelevant. We do things, and I'm sure you've done them too, which don't help your survival and reproduction in terms of your kin, and nor in terms of reciprocation. For example, you must have, I'm sure in your life, given charity to someone in the world
I did.
Who's not related to you.
No.
And they can't reciprocate because you gave it anonymously.
But you know what?
No, answer that question. Therefore it's wrong.
Well, but you know what it gave me? A satisfaction and a genuine pleasure that I was able to do that.
Sure.
And that is a selfish motive for me to do an altruistic...
That's kind of like hedonistic entropy, right? Yeah. Now, that's fine, you can say that, but people, not every single person helps someone because it makes them feel good. Some people believe, like, you know, we have Kantian ethics, right? It's just my duty to do it, and I shouldn't even feel good about it. And this is not an issue which I just brought up. This is well known in academia that altruism makes no sense under a Darwinian paradigm.
I would disagree with that. I think...
It's them, it's not me.
Well, there might be some guys saying that, but I would go on a limb again on this one and say that most people that understand Darwinism, evolution of societies also, they can probably say altruism is a way to go, because a society in which,
I don't
and you can see it in apes.
Look, we totally agree altruism exists everywhere. It exists even in ants. You have sterile ants, right, who all their life they're upside down in the colony holding something up, right? That's altruism. That's not an issue. The issue is not the existence of altruism or should we be altruistic. That's fine. The issue is we have the existence of true altruism, which makes no sense under Darwinian evolution because it's not selfish.
What do you mean true altruism? 1% of Buddhist monks who have done Vipassana for 20 days and then they realize they want to do good things just for the heck of it?
No. Let me repeat that.
Because that would be a true altruism for me.
Let's go back to the foundation here. Does true altruism exist?
I believe it doesn't.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I'm saying it does, and I don't think anyone who thinks about it really deeply would deny that we as human beings, we do want to help others, even if it's against ourselves. We have cases where human beings have put themselves in front of danger to save somebody who is not related to them, which cost them their lives. That is true altruism. And I can explain that as a Muslim because I can say God has not only given us rationality, but God has given us an innate nature that we care about each other, so much so that we put ourselves in danger for the sake of others. But from a Darwinian perspective, it's kind of like, screw him, I got my genes to pass on. And that's a Darwinian perspective.
And I think 99% of people would do that.
Yeah, they would do that, but truth is not democratic. Let's look at some concepts here. True altruism exists, and it's a counterfactual to Darwinism.
But then again, this true altruism works within Darwin's dilemma, because the guy that throws in front of the danger for someone else doesn't get his gene through. So he did a stupid thing, and he just doesn't.
Okay, so why would natural selection create that?
Well, a lot of things that natural happens to natural. No, wait. What if the guy has an extra mutation thing that at his birth, right? This is what it works. So I'm let's say, a super extra altruistic guy, while my parents are not. It just could be a result of mutation. Can it be?
You wouldn't have true altruism, you would have altruism in terms of genetics, in terms of genes. You want to pass on and survive. The thing is, look, it's kind of like this. If someone's in a quicksand and they're stuck, the more they move, the more they're going to sink in. From a Darwinian perspective, there is no such thing as true altruism. If someone does say, I believe in true altruism, which is not kin selection, not reciprocal altruism, the first thing I would say is, make sure you go down to King's Cross, there's the journal Nature, and go tell them you've discovered something, because no one's done it so far.
إذا أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والتعليق، ولكي يصلك كل جديد اشترك الآن.